I just had the biggest flop in my career. So Brandon and I are finally gonna flip and sell our long-term rental. So this is a home, when I went through a divorce many, many years ago, this was like my first home that was mine, and me and Elizabeth lived in the basement and made that our own. We rented out the top. It was great. When we got married, I wanted to sell it, but Brandon talked me into renting it. It's time to sell, right?
Yeah, I'm tired of dealing with it.
But first, we've got to renovate it. So our plan going into this home is we are going to lay new laminate flooring all throughout, give it that updated look.
Right.
Do some paint.
Yeah.
The kitchen, I really want to do like a nice kitchen.
We can do a nice kitchen, but we're not putting granite countertops in there.
But it would just make it like really wow. I think it would give it that wow factor.
Yeah, but the wow factor doesn't equal money in the end. And when you put that investment into the granite countertops, you're not going to get that investment back out. So there's really no point in overdoing it.
That one's too dark. I like it. Where have you seen call boxes? Like sweating.
Round 2. Fight!
I'm not gonna do it. Bare minimum roof. I'm thinking what, 1 to 2 months?
Yeah.
Should be done?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, all right. So we're getting ready to go. So let's see how long this takes us. So our plan was to do laminate, but I found hardwoods under the carpet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that just means we've got to strip the floors, we've got to go through, sand it all down, then we've got to go back and restain the floors, then we've got to put a final coat over the floors. It's going to add to your 1 to 2 month timeline.
But none of that sounds like a problem to me. It's hardwoods and I'm all about it.
As long as you're okay with it taking a little bit more time.
It's gonna be so worth it. Laying shoe molding. I cut it and Brandon lays it down. Look at all these, because it's the closet. All these little bitty, itty bitty pieces. I'm piecing together because it's the closet, and closet isn't seen as much. I'd rather have the big pieces out. So we're putting in some long hours here, and this thing is taking way longer than we're thinking. But thankfully, we have family that stops in, and especially Nanny. She'll bring us lunch, helps us keep working, and keeps us from having to take so many poop breaks from going into the restaurant.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a really big time saver.
You gotta go. So
for those of you that don't know, Brandon has a lung issue and he cannot breathe in fumes. So we have to be very conscientious of when we do painting, when we do the fumes with the hardwoods and things like that. Even with masks, it's just not safe for him. So we have to really line that up and try to pick days of paint and days of things like this, the opposite of days when Brandon's not gonna be there. Yeah. So that may be why you're gonna catch me in a dress staining some floors, because I knew that was the day that Brandon wasn't gonna be there, and I came from a closing, and hey, we'll make it happen.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Didn't get any on my dress either.
It's a super shocker because she always gets stuff on her dress.
We are almost finished here at the rental home. So today I am going to stain the last of this little shoe molding we need for 2 more rooms, polyurethane these floors, and then Brandon will come over here and do the rest of his stuff the first of next week, because my goal, pictures and list this next week. So I'm past my deadline. I wanted it to be May, and we're here middle of June, so we got to get on it. So Brandon just asked me to cut some trim, or shoe molding, and shoe molding is one of those things, you got the angles, and it's so hard for me to flip-flop back and forth between the 3. Once I get going, I'm good at it, and I was like, okay, I'll go. And I made my first cut wrong, so we'll see how long this takes. We're finally done, and oh, that only took us 5 months. Our goal was 1 to 2, took us 5.
I blame the hardwood.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
doing our final cleanup, getting staging, and now it's time to get this listing video. But I'm like sweating to death. We finally have everything cleared out. About to shoot our video. This rug was so huge. It fit like the entire room. So we folded it in half and put our little chairs. I think that makes a cute little stage entrance. So let's film our listing video. I am hoping we are gonna soar. Like the market's been still pretty good. I'm hoping we're gonna soar once we go live. We are getting ready for the open house. And I put up my signs right here. Brandon's across the road. We're hosting an open house. It's our anniversary. And he is doing the thing that he loves most in the world, open houses.
Yeah, on my anniversary. It's fantastic.
When I listed it yesterday, I have not had any showings, anything. And so Brandon's like, I think it's just because it's the summer, you know, we're approaching the 4th of July, people are out and about, maybe that's what's going on. I did have one person that said they were gonna come to the open house, so we'll see if she does, and if I get to see her. But I'm hoping my signs bring in something, I don't know.
Doing their thing, yeah.
Anniversary lunch. Chicken. Ooh, and guess how many visitors we've had at the open house today? Wah wah. I cannot believe I just failed like I did. We put in hours of work, busted our tails to get this home done and ready so I could do an open house today. Like, I mean, we just killed ourselves, like 12-hour days this past week, rushed to get everything done, out in the heat, sweating to death, putting out signs, and no one showed up. So all of this has been for nothing. We killed ourselves for nothing. And I'm having a really hard time with it. So we have had one showing of the property. I got someone that reached out to me that was wanting to owner finance it. So he's about to come see it now. And ideally we wanted the money out of this one, but given the lack of interest, I would rather get full price for it and get it out there than have to cut it drastically just to get that money. So he's given us some pretty good terms. He is giving us $25,000 down. He's going to pay us $2,000 a month. And he's going to do that for 3 years, and then he's going to have what's called a balloon note. And that means the rest of the money that he owes us is going to be due right then after 3 years.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we'll net more money doing it this way, but it just takes longer to get that money out.
So we've got this.
We got to show you. We gotta go eat out, and we gotta go show.
Is that what you're doing? So I've got this closing at Bryan Street. We were originally going to do it at 11. And he messaged me, he was like, hey, my bank doesn't open in time, and it's going to be closer to 11:30. And I'm like, okay. So I'm leaving my house with plenty of time to get there, and he messaged me. He's like, hey, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. And I'm like, it's 10:30. And he got Alabama and Georgia time mixed up, so they're waiting on me. So I'm booking it to get there. But I'm on time, just for once in a while.
So what was in crypto? I bought a dolphin.
No.
So that's cool.
This one was a little bit more of a disappointment for me in the way all the hard work we put in and it didn't get returned right away.
Well, and we just expected with the location of it too. It's in a desirable school district. It's like right in the middle of town, literally just a few minutes away from everything.
We'll take what we could get and let's get this thing closed out and move on to the next one. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to take out.
Trying to take out your teeth? Who takes out their teeth that you see do that?